This is The Professional Stepdad, a place where we share stories, strategies, and ideas for men just like you to help answer that one important question: how can I be a better stepdad?
All right. 3 minutes of sitting here, which is freaking just strange to me. Okay. All right, welcome back, stepdads. I am gonna it's gonna be a quick episode today. I'm gonna just talk about a few things that I've been working on and kind of hitting on a few points of some things that I've been reading when it comes to what it means to be a stepdad, what it means to be a man, what it means to be that person in the life of a family who was abandoned by a man or hurt by another man, like meaning the bio dad or maybe another stepdad. And constantly, and the feeling that you get because you feel like you're constantly being prejudged or looked at differently because of past circumstances. So I wanted to kind of just address something that I read yesterday, which was, it's something along the lines that men, nobody cares about the struggles that a stepdad has to go through, not even other stepdads. And it made me think about like the reason for this show and the reason for this information that I'm putting out and how true that is. Because for some reason, that I still, and this is just like a kind of like a discovery period for me. For some reason, we as stepdads, we need help. Some of us ask for help, but not the majority, I don't want to say the majority, but there are still a lot of other stepdads who are criticizing the efforts put in by the stepdads that are wanting to be better. And that's killing me. Like there's no real light on that, right? There's no real light on the fact that there are more stepdads that I've seen. Again, this is just based off of what I'm seeing on there we go. This is just based off of what I'm seeing on social media, and these are the platforms that I belong to, but there are a lot of stepdads that want to see other stepdads fail. And I don't even think they mean to do it. Some of the advice that they're giving these men are just, kind of my theory goes like this. There's absolutely no advice that I would give you that I wouldn't give my own son. And some of you stepdads really need to take a look at some of the things that you're saying. Like our job, okay, here's a great way to look at it. So as stepdads, we constantly feel judged like we're walking on eggshells, right? Like everybody around us wants to see us fail secretly, but nobody talks about it. We feel like we're left out. We feel like we don't matter, like our efforts and energy don't get enough accolades. We all go through that in different levels of our journey as a stepdad. We all go through that. Why would we add another layer to our journey? Like why, as stepdads, why would we take the time to give information or to suggest information or to just simply speak irrationally to other stepdads who are seeking help? Why would we give them another layer like, oh, by the way, I know you're being judged by everybody around you in your circle of influence, but now we're on social media and you're supposed to be in a safe place, but we're going to judge you too. Like, why? I want you to ask yourself that question. And if you're one of those stepdads, dude, just stop it, because it is detrimental to the men that want to grow. Okay, so today's episode, and I kind of ranted there, but I wanted to get that out because some of the things that I'm reading, I'm like shaking my head and I'm scratching my head because it doesn't make any sense. And for the stepdads out there that are seeking guidance and information and because they want to be better, just keep going, guys. Just keep moving forward and do your very best to block out all the negativity around you. And now do your very best to block out the stupidity of, I'm going to say that a lot of it is insecurity, right? These other stepdads and these other men that are given this information, they're giving you information based off of their personal journey and what has and has not worked for them. I'm going to assume they haven't even tried like certain things that can work for them in a beneficial way. So then they now want to go on there and they want to like crabs in a barrel. They want to bring everybody down with them so they feel like their journey and where they're at and their failures is relevant and they feel like they're not alone. And let me tell you, if you're one of those stepdads who are unwilling to do the work, you are alone. You are 100% alone, and you deserve to be alone because you are not doing us, and us meaning the stepdads that are putting in the work, you're not doing us any favors. So again, to the stepdads, to the ones that are working hard, keep going. Try to block out now the negative Nancys that are in our way as far as like being on the platforms that we belong to. So I was talking to a couple friends yesterday, and we were trying to compare and contrast the journey of a stepdad and like the steps that one should take in order to build like a successful business, right? So we started to equate it to business. And you know, if you've ever started a business, you know that your commitment to business in the first few years is a lot of work behind closed doors, late nights, doing the grunt stuff without anybody really seeing what you're doing. And there's really no big payoff. Like there's no big like win other than like the feeling that you get knowing that you're putting in the work. And like in any business, especially for men from my generation, in any business, you know that it takes patience. There are way too many, like the stepdads that are coming behind me. This is not like, there are no become the best stepdad schemes available, like a get rich business type thing, or there are no pyramid schemes for step parenting. When you're building a business, and make no mistake about it, your family is your new business, right? When you're building a business, you have to continuously do the work that doesn't look like fun and that takes time. If you're going to get to a point where you can consider yourself successful in your business. So the most important part about your journey that you have to remember, the most important part and the secret sauce to becoming a successful stepdad is patience. Just like in business, it's patience. It's the patience and the persistence and the commitment to consistency on the things that you're doing, the grunt work, the things that you're doing on a personal level, on a relationship level, and then on a family level. It's the groundwork that you're laying now so that you can reap the rewards later. Do not expect it to happen fast. Do not expect it to come in like waves, meaning like there's not going to be just one huge win and then like you're done. Because this is a consistent, growing, and ever-changing thing that you're going through. So for me, as a stepdad, I came into a family with no teenagers, right? And now I have 3 teenagers, going to be 4. So my world is constantly changing and I'm constantly adapting and trying to figure things out. And I would not be able to move forward where I'm at if I hadn't done all the necessary grunt work, all the late night hour reading, personal growth, working on myself, figuring me out type stuff, and then doing all the reading necessary and watching the videos and reading the books, all that stuff about family and relationships over the last 9 years. So when I'm getting to points of my life where it's changing and things are becoming a little bit more complicated, a lot louder, I'm mentally prepared for the next steps because I've done the grunt work. I've laid the foundation, and the process is all the same. It doesn't matter where you are. The process is all the same, exactly the same if you laid your foundation correctly. Everything is exactly the same. When you build a home, if you lay your foundation correctly, putting the walls up and the plumbing and all that, there are add-ons, I guess, that you could put into a home, but for the most part, the process is the same. It's the exact same. Walls, roof, stucco, and you get your home. So that's laying the foundation within the first however many years it takes you, because there are going to be stepdads who put in the work and actually go all in on the work. And for you, it's not going to be as long as a payoff. It's not going to take as long to get the payoff as it is for the men who don't do the work and then start it later on, and they haven't developed the patience personally in order to go, okay, so I'm working on me, I'm working on my relationship, want to make sure I'm connecting with the kids, and it's going to require patience. Patience is the secret sauce to a successful journey as a stepdad, period. There are definitely a lot of other factors that come into play, like ignoring the naysayers, blocking out negativity, these little tiny things that happen every single day that feel like knife stabs, in your side that nobody sees and nobody feels but you. And but patience is the secret sauce, and that will never be any different. I'm starting to write these 10 common mistakes made by stepdads. I'm just writing about it because there are 10 real huge mistakes that stepdads make. I'll give you the first one. Or mind you, there are no particular order. This is just one that pops in my head. When you first start dating somebody, you got to fill them out, right? You got to fill them out. You got to make sure that you're compatible. Go on a couple dates, see how you feel. Conversations are flowing. Are you compatible sexually? Are you compatible mentally, physically? All these things come into play before you can actually kind of commit to the relationship and say, okay, let's take it to the next step. Let's continue to move this relationship forward to see where we go. But that's how a relationship is done. Now, imagine you meeting your partner or meeting somebody for the first time and immediately just overwhelming them with trying to please them or trying to show them who you are, or being cocky or constantly trying to show off. Imagine just overwhelming them. How long would it take before either they leave or you figure out, holy shit, if I don't back off, this person's leaving. I got to take my time. And again, this all goes back to patience. This is a huge mistake. Patience is always the secret sauce, and not overwhelming your situation is key. When you step into your new world, stepdads, when you step into your new world, or if you've been in your new world, wherever you are, if you're overwhelming the children with trying to compare yourself to the other men or bio-dad, or just be you, right? Be the authentic you. They're going to fall in love with you. They're going to fall in love with who you are as a person. They're going to fall in love with who you are as a man. But more importantly, if you're not, don't overwhelm them with your attention. Don't overwhelm them with your attention. Take your time, have patience, and get to know them individually, however many kids there are. Get to know them on an individual level, what they like, what they don't like. That includes your partner, and that includes yourself. Don't overwhelm the situation. Don't try to win right off the bat. Don't try to hit that home run. Don't try to get rich quick. All these whatever statements that I can make that kind of I can help you identify what I'm talking about, it takes patience. Patience is the secret sauce. And if you do not have patience, you will find yourselves constantly battling the same problems over and over again. It'll feel like it just doesn't stop coming. But if you can have patience and you can remember that there is no glory as a stepdad until you've put in the work to receive that glory. And we all get it. And it all comes in different parts. Your youngest kids might give it to you earlier, and your oldest kids might give it to you way later in life. But it comes. Don't expect it, and be happy when it shows up. But patience is the secret sauce. Don't overwhelm the kids. Don't try to make them do anything. Don't overwhelm your partner with trying to be different than the last guy was. And showing her how you're different. Just be you. Listen. Don't try to solve problems. Listen. I'm telling you, if you can listen for the first 5 years and not solve any problems, I'm pretty sure you would go in some sort of a book about how you're the most successful stepdad in the world because you chose to, not even stepdad, man, right? Because men, we like to solve problems. That would be freaking hilarious. And it's tough because we want to be the leaders and we want to be like the men that are protecting and that are keeping out evil and keeping out danger. Like that's what we want. That's just like, it's in us. But if I'm telling you, you got to have patience and you have to put in the time and the energy and the effort and the grunt work. Building a business, it's the exact same. You have to put in the time that nobody sees and it is for nobody. And you're not going out kind of like expecting people to go, oh man, I heard about this business you're building. It's incredible, because they won't. If you're doing if you're building a business correctly, nobody will even know you're doing it until you've put in all the work. And then when you present it, they're gonna be like, oh man, you've heard this, right? You've heard how like people this guy is successful overnight. That's rarely ever, if ever, happens. The people that become uber successful in anything that they do, if you were to reverse engineer who they are as a person, you would find all the time that they were up while everybody was sleeping, all the time they were reading while everybody was partying, all the time that they were patient when everybody wasn't. Like, that is the mark of a successful anybody. And for you to be a successful stepdad and a successful man and a successful leader within your home, you have to understand, you have to tattoo this, get a piece of paper, write it down, put it on a window or on your mirror in your bathroom. And then that simply says, patience is the secret sauce. And remind yourself of that every day. Patience is the secret sauce to everything. Your journey as a stepdad can be an amazing one, filled with love, filled with glory, filled with accolades, but you have to wait for it. Wait for it. And while you're waiting, put in the work. Just put in the work. Put in the personal development work. Put in the work with you and your partner. Then put in the work with understanding who your kids are on an individual level, knowing that they're going to change. But if you get to know them core and personally, if you get to know who they are, what defines them, it doesn't matter how old they get, you will always find a way to connect with them because you understand who they are. And that is going to always come back to the love languages, man. It's going to always come back to doing that work and that study and reading the books about the love languages. So that's really what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, other than the idiots that keep giving out bad advice on freaking social media. I wish there was a way to if you are listening to this, some of you admins, go in there and look at some of the advice that people give. And if they're giving shitty advice, do us a favor and block them, because they're killing the hopes of men that are looking for help. They're trying to put out their flame so that they can stay down in the fucking trenches with the ones that are miserable. And last thing I'll say, if you're a stepdad, and you're going through your journey and you're miserable, if you feel like you have that one foot out the door, I said this before and I'll say it again. If you are unwilling to put in the work, that means put in the personal work, asking for help, and being humble about the help you're asking for, if you were unwilling to do that, please do your family a favor and leave so that the next stepdad can come in and pick up where you did all the wrong things. Please, I'm begging you. But if anything that I'm saying right now is resonating with you in a way where you're like, holy shit, man, I really need to just sit down and understand that patience is the secret sauce and I got to put in the work and I do want to be here and I do want to be good. If that is you and you are feeling that way, but you were still unwilling to ask for help, let me give you permission. Men, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to be to not get the accolades. It's okay to not get the high fives and like you're doing a great job. It's okay, because this journey that you're on, when you stepped in, if you're like, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, like the tagline if this is your journey of like, your name is Bill and it'd be like the journey of Bill's stepdad, whatever. The underlying tagline would be, it's not about you. None of it is about you. It's about the kids. It's about the situation that you're in and becoming the best leader that you can possibly be. Look, you're there for a reason. You made the choice to step up for a reason. If that is you, if you made that choice to step up for a reason, then step up. Do the work. Build your business. I mean, these are talking points that I write. I mean, it specifically says building a business and building a family are the same. Patience is the secret sauce. All right, guys, this is episode 29 of the Professional Stepdad Podcast. Tomorrow's going to be Q&A. I'm excited. I always love Q&A. I think tomorrow I'm going to freaking go after some of these idiots that just say dumb stuff. Or maybe I'll just leave it alone because, I mean, they probably already have it bad enough. That is me knowing me, because the old me would go after these guys. But that's me knowing me. Okay, have a great day.
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.